plus some, maybe 10, possibly 20. I wasn't really paying attention, but I didn't have any problem understanding you over.
Roger that. And the better signal that I've got on you now, your audio is sounding a lot better. Roger.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess that with a stronger signal, probably, and into the bandpass of the radio, probably changes aspects of it, guy. And using a old Kenwood 120S to drive the homebrew linear. And then I switched to the 40-meter cage, and it probably favors use on there, Joe, over.
Roger. Now you're saying you're running a homebrew power amp?
Roger. It uses 3 813 tubes, about a kilowatt, well, it's about 700 tune mode, and this may be close to that.
Roger that. When did you build that one?
Well, here's confession time, I guess, Joe. I bought this from the other time, KUV, the guy that does the radio show and streaming live video to different ham fests about 4 or 5 years ago now. But I have pretty much reconstructed the electronic part of it and some wiring on it, and it's added a few features that it didn't have, and so I guess it was a two-person project over probably a 30 or 40 year period. Roger.
Roger that. Well, it sounds really good there. You say you're doing about 750?
It'll tune up to a little over 700, probably maybe 1,200 input, or at least over a kilowatt input, Roger.
Roger. What kind of antenna system you got?
The antenna at this point is a 40-meter cage. Aperture is maybe 30 feet at the most, probably 25 would get it, and it's oriented sort of north-west by southeast, which kind of favors to the northeast and the southwest in propagation. The other antenna that was on was a 2-element arrangement of vertical delta loops.
Roger. So you could tell my signal difference to you when you switched antennas?
Yeah, I'm looking at you now. You're about 20 over, and I'll go back to the delta loops and give you a report. And I think it uses propagation angle. At this point, it's going to be the worst of the two.
Okay, the both your guys at 20 over in Canada, just want to let you know there. I'll be on the side here and give you my call sign after.
Roger, Canada. Copy. We are both 20 over in Canada. What's the call up in Canada? Canada, the call here is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. And Dick, do you copy Canada?
Yeah, I copy it quite well. Well, thank you, guy. What's the name and what was the call again so I can make notes? QSL. Your signal, your F9 hanging in there right at that, and I'm talking to you off of this 40-meter cage at this point, and there wasn't much difference between that and my dual loops here. Well, gosh, I wrote your name down, but I mutilated it. So give me that again, Roger.
Okay,
Rollo, I got you now. Go ahead, Joe.
Roger. Name is Jim. Rollo, this is KC9VKV. You copy? Roger, Rollo, you're right at my noise level, maybe a dB above my noise level, so I can just barely copy you, tell you're in there. Roger, Roger. Roger, Roger. You know, I usually run 4 internet SDR receivers when I'm on 7188, and they're all tuned to 7188, so I can't use them up on this frequency. But anyway, let me say 3's up that way, and I'll turn it back to Dick, and he can give a shot to you.
Yeah, okay, KC9VKV with Va3 CVE. I think it's got its low correctly. Well, Rollo is F9 just a little bit, so we'll show you well over the F9 bar down here. I just got a signal from the YL here. We all both sleep late. She actually sleeps later than myself, and I do the breakfast, so that's more important at this point than talking on the radio. So I'll say 73 to you, Joe, and Rollo. I'll let you pick it up there. Va3 CVE Wx5J 73, guys.
Correction on the call sign Va3 CRE, and if you want to look like QRZ and put in my call sign in there, Va3 CRE, you will see the net.
Okay, QSL, I got to know. Take care, be careful, and the 19 is going to evaporate. I don't know when, but soon, hopefully. Wx5J.
Roger, Dick. FYI, we have been recording, and if you'd like to hear your audio, we have a YouTube page, a QSO vlog page. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO vlog page, and once you're on that page, we'll be marking this with your call sign in the title, so you'll be able to find it. Should be on page 1 of the YouTube search for KC9VKV. Roger.
Oh, good, Phil. I'd like to hear that. And I'm out of here.
Roger, Roger. 3's that way, sir. I'll catch you later. And the Canadian station, let me say 3's to you also, sir. You, like I say, are just right at my noise level, so it's kind of hard to copy.
Yeah, okay, no problem at all. Like I said, hearing you, if you want to check on the QRZ, put my call sign in there, Va3 CRE, you will see I have a net on 7250 megahertz. It's called the nickel belt amateur radio net. Again, the nickel belt amateur radio net and 7250 megahertz. And we're back here on from Monday to Friday by 3 o'clock Eastern time until 4:30 Eastern time. So if you want to check that out, you'll be impressed what you see on the webpage. Go ahead.
Okay, I copy. You have a net on 7205. Can you repeat the time again, please?
Yeah, that's right. 7250 megahertz lower side band on 3 o'clock Eastern time until 4:30 Eastern time. It's called the nickel belt amateur radio net.
Roger. 3 p.m. and that is 7250 or 7205?
7250 at 3 o'clock Eastern time until 4:30 Eastern time. It's called the nickel belt amateur radio net. Go on QRZ and put my call sign in there, and you will see the net. There's 3 bays up there, and you'll be impressed.
Roger. Now, give me your call sign slowly, phonetically, please, sir.
Va3Cre. Va3Cre.
Va3VRE.
No, C like Charlie. CRE.
Va3 Charlie RE. Roger.
Yeah, Va3 Charlie Radio Echo.
I got you. And what's the name up that way?
The name is Romeo Oscar Lima Yankee. I'm in Buffalo, Ontario.
Is that Romeo Oscar Lima Yoke?
The first name is Romeo Oscar Lima Yankee. Romeo.
Copy that. Roger. Well, again, we have been recording, and we do have the audios to post up on YouTube if you'd be interested in hearing your station. Didn't have a good copy on you earlier, but later transmissions were, very good. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO Vlog page, and you'll be looking for a air check, my group air check, and it will have your call sign in the title. Roger?
Hey, Roger, thank you so much for doing that. They will be checking that for sure there. And you are invited there. Everybody is welcome to check in into the Nickel Belt Temperature Radio. And then 80% of our people that comes in is from the USA. And we are an open net to all provinces of Canada and all the state of USA. So, like I said, you're more than welcome to check in, brother.
Roger, sir. 3's that way, and I'll let you go. We'll catch you later on. Sounding good down this way. This is KC9VKV. And this is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor KC9VKV. And we're located near Louisville, Kentucky. Anybody got a copy? Come on back. This is KC9VKV listening.
Kilowatt Alpha 9 Alpha Bravo Charlie.
Kilowatt Alpha 9, repeat the rest.
Alpha Bravo Charlie, over.
Alpha Bravo Charlie, Roger. This is KC9VKV. Name here is Jim, Juliet India Mike.
Oh, very good, Jim. KC9VRV from Kilo Alpha 9ABC. Good morning. You're about a 5'7" to 5'9" here in Maryland, and my name is Dick. Delta India Charlie Kilo. KC9VKV Kilo Alpha 9ABC, over.
Roger. Copy your location as Maryland. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, Roger. We're in a small town called Hagerstown, which is at the waste of Maryland, over.
Roger that. What kind of antenna are you running, sir?
Okay, just a plain old Hustler 4 VTV. Yeah, I've only been on deck on 40 for about a month now. I haven't been on 40 for probably 25 years, but anyhow, here I had to have something to get going on, so I had this 4 VTV, and I put it into ground, and by gosh, it seems to be working with this old antiquated TS9 40S radio, over.
Roger. Now, just what kind of antenna is that you're talking about?
Oh, it's a vertical antenna that supposedly is supposed to operate on 4 bands, 10, 15, 20, and 40. And it seems to do a halfway decent job, over.
Roger. How tall is it?
21 feet.
Oh, roger that. Are you running ground radios, or do you manage to operate it without ground radios?
No, fortunately, when I drove the pipe in the ground, I drove a 5-foot pipe in, and evidently the conductivity of the ground around here is pretty good, so it made a halfway decent counterpoise, and by gosh, no ground at all, over.
Roger that. Now, I'm just curious if I'm sure you're loading out a bunch to operate, you know, that antenna vertically with that short. But I'm just wondering if you load out a bunch of antenna vertically, does that mean that you don't have to have quite as extensive ground radials, you know, on the other side? Roger. Well, the proof would be in the SWR. What's your normal SWR without the antenna tuner?
Oh, it's absolutely flat here at 40. Right here at this frequency, well between 197 and 200, it's about a 1.1.5 to 1 over.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So, yes, I think it may be that the shorter your vertical, then the shorter your reciprocal ground wave elements would be.
Yeah, I concur with you 100%. This is actually my first experimentation with verticals, and I'm originally from Illinois, northern Illinois, near Chicago, and I'm out here only 6 months a year, but I've always been huge beam antennas, so never into verticals, over.
Roger, Roger. Yes. Well, you know, coming from UHF and VHF in my case, you know, when you're counterpoised phase-wise to other folks, it's not a good situation. When I guess when you're talking ground wave, you know, where you do have a definite horizontal and vertical polarization situation, when everybody's vertical and you're horizontal, you're losing about half the blow-by, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. So, well, unfortunately, in my physical positioning here I live in a town and the lots aren't very large. I really don't have a lot of room to run any verticals anyhow, so I was extremely pleased that it's working as well as it is without, you know, any grounding mechanisms at all. The thing that worried me is I have a 4-foot high cyclone sensor about 6 feet from the antenna, and I was worried that would be involved with it, but as long as it's not in resonance, the antenna's not seeing it, and it's working halfway decent work.
Roger that. Yeah, I've got two twin 10-foot magnetic loop antennas. One's on a rotor, and I was just moving it around to come up on your location to see, compare it to my dipole reception, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Well, from close by Louisville, Kentucky, you'd be south and to the east of you, I would say probably about maybe 130 degrees over.
Roger. So that to me, I wonder what that would be to me. Like if I looked the other 135, that would be 315 degrees, I guess, from me to you.
Yeah, I would say so. No? Okay, I'm thinking about my degrees from where I am in Juliet, where you would be, because I think for me, you would be very close to, from your proximity, I would say, try 135 to 140 degrees and see how that brings it up, over.
Okay, that would be 135 degrees. I would be going southeast from my location, when I really need to be going north something, I believe.
No. I'm southeast of you.
Where are you?
I'm in Maryland.
Okay. So maybe I should start with 90 degrees and go south easy from there.
Yeah, Roger. The men call Tennessee people up.
Roger, yeah. Return to those days when you have a fixed dipole and everything was so much simpler, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. So, always something in this, and, you know, it's very hard. I'm used to twisting
Roger, I have somebody very inconsiderately tuning up on the frequency. I don't know why people do that. It's not very very nice.
I was thinking the same thing.
Over the person that's keying up on us, you're just loud and clear, over.
Roger, Roger. We had someone else that joined us there for a moment. What is the other station call?
Yeah, Jim, Kj4Zmz. I was thinking the same thing. Why do people tune up on the frequency when they hear a QSO going on? It's just so rude, but nevertheless, Jim, sounding good. Kj4Zmz.
Roger, Terrence. Well, I think it has to do with limited brain cells, and they can't get all those brain cells organized to have an intelligent thought. So that's why they key up on an active frequency, because it takes them half an hour to realize that there's somebody else on the frequency. They hear all these voices in their head, and that, so when they hear these voices, they think they're in their head as opposed to actually on the frequency that they're tuning up. Roger, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, that's a great analogy. Hey, Jim, when you finish with the other station, I got to tell you about my new antenna build. Kj4Zmz.
Oh, now the guy's got, he's clucking. He is a mother duck for sure. That's, anyway, I'm not sure exactly what happens, but, QRM-ERS are in a stage by themselves. They get to the point of QRMing so much they don't even realize what they're doing. They just arbitrarily QRM, and it's really pathetic. They lack the ability to actually communicate on a humanoidal basis. So they just try to disrupt other people that are having intelligent conversations because they lack the ability to participate.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Jim. But that's what they do. That's exactly what they do, man. I mean, they're just total, almost said it. But, yeah, anyway, Jim, how you been out that way, man?
I've been doing very well, sir. Trying to keep my head down, and wash my hands a bunch. I have a portable sink I carry with me now.
A portable what?
A portable sink to wash my hands.
Oh, do you really?
No, but I need one. I've been doing that, fairly often. Even though I'm not really going anywhere, I'm still washing my hands about every hour or so.
Yeah, Roger, man. Well, I work for the government, and it's kind of crazy. They just reported yesterday that where I work at in the federal building, there was one case of COVID-19 there on one of the floors. So I felt like, wow, this is crazy there, Roger.
Oh, Roger that. Well, the thing is, when you get one person that has it in a large facility like that, you just never know what the outcome is going to be,
Yeah, exactly. And the workers we're saying, wow, but they say, okay, yeah, we cleaned everything up and it's business as usual, Unfortunately, I'm in one of those jobs, and I guess it's kind of fortunate too that I still have a job, but I'm in one of those positions, man, where, we still have to do our job in spite of what's happening there, Roger.
Oh, Roger that. Now, you're down on low power?
Yeah, I'm on very low power right now, pushing about maybe 100 watts.
Roger, Roger. I see in honor of our QRM attack today, I call this one Ode to QRM-Er. Here's a thought to consider for my QRM-Er. What if I were you and you were I? Listen to me, brother, at least try. You don't know me, but yet you attack me, and I've done nothing to you, so why do you think you should do that? It's not me to blame for this attack, but you. So I must represent something you distaste. But what could that be? Do my words cause you hate? Does my voice cause you pain? Think about it, brother. It is not me, it's your rage that's to blame, and you must get yourself under control because it's me you attack today, but who will it be tomorrow? Some kid in the park? Yeah, that would be your style. Attack some kid in the park in the dark because it doesn't matter to you. Just anyone will do. Your rage and hate will seal your fate. You know, I would seek help if I were you. This has been Ode to Qrm-Er.
Good deal.
So have you been recording some more, Terrence?
You know, I'm going to start again probably in the next week or so. I do have a project that I'm going to be working on, and I had a couple suggestions that was made to me by some of the other YouTubers that peeped at my video, and they were really impressed with it, and they said, "Hey, how about if you do a antenna project?" And I said, "Hey, that sounds like that'll be a winner." And speaking of antenna projects, Jim, I just recently built a 80-meter dipole, and it is working phenomenal. There, Roger?
Oh, Roger, I don't think you have to go a long way to beat the efficiency of a dipole antenna, particularly a true resonant dipole antenna. When your SWR is done in the 0.05 range, it's just a tremendously efficient antenna. I haven't found one more efficient, or I would be running it, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. You know, it's really one of my first dipole builds. I mean, you know, I never really built a dipole. I mean, so all of my antenna builds were just delta loop antennas. And man, I tell you what, it is I like my delta loops too. They're very quiet and very efficient. You know, they have some gain. But this dipole is it's really, really interesting to me, man. I mean, I threw it up. I'll tell you what I did. It's a horizontal inverted V, if you could picture that, because I don't have the room to basically make it a vertical dipole or vertical inverted V. So it is a horizontal inverted V, and I have it on a piece of mast, military mast, and the left side and the right side are hooked onto my spruce trees, about maybe 30 feet up in the air. And it's working really, really well. I did the calculations, and what was the calculations? 468 divided by the frequency or something like that, and it came up with anyway. I came up with like 63 feet. I just made it, man, on each lake, and I put a very robust balun on there. It's a 1-to-1 balun that I got from Balun Design, and I opened that thing up and look at the ferrite in there, man. They are huge and capable of about 5 kW. I never run that much through there, but it's a mean machine, Roger.
Roger. Now, I don't really believe in baluns because, you don't really need them to achieve no SWR, and if you don't have any SWR, you have a good match, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you know, I don't know. I mean, that just goes to show you how much I know about antennas. I just felt like I needed to have a balun on there because I had such success with the rest of his baluns, and I think part of it too is that I was afraid of the RF. I didn't want any RF coming back in the shack, Roger.
Sorry, Terrence, I had a landline I had to grab there. Well, you know, the thing about it is, are you passing any limbs? Are you passing by any limbs on your route of your line, your radiating line?
Limbs like trees or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, are you hanging over any limbs that way?
No, not at all.
Good. I was just going to tell you, you know, you do have to, I was using RG6 or something like that, as a transmission, as a element, radiating element. And this was a 80-meter dipole antenna that it used to go all the way to the top of the tree, about 70 feet or so, and I never could get, it was a sloper, and I never could get the SWR down, and I would from week to week to week make these charges up the roof and say, I'm going to take care of this today. I'm going to get this SWR down to 1.1. And I'd spend 2 hours and I'd wind up in a worse situation than when I started. And I did that about 5 times. And the 6th time, I was using tie wraps, but you can't pull them tight because you can't change things. So these were fairly loose, and unfortunately, they were too loose. And I did lose my my top of the tree connection. So there went the neighborhood, and I had to. But I decided, well, I'll just use the first limb of the tree, about 20-25 feet, and just run it that way, you know, until I can get my my Ace Flycaster back here to do the top of the tree deal again. So I did the first limb on the tree, which was about 25 feet. And lo and behold, all of a sudden my SWR was 1-to-1. And I said, what? And what it was, you know, you're dealing with a sloper. So you have a difference of ground proximity from the one end, which was like about 18 feet, to the other end, which was like about 70 feet. And because you have such a disparity of ground relationships, you really can't get that SWR down, or at least I couldn't anyway. So that's when I realized one end of that dipole has to pretty much be looking at the same kind of situation relating to ground as the other one, Roger?
Yeah, Roger on that there. Well, good deal, man. It seemed like it's, that seemed like that would work, you know. And I guess anytime you can get your SWR down is a plus. I don't know. I guess I just haven't had enough experience in, you know, building an antenna without a some sort of diamond or anything like that, you know. I'm on low power too. I went down to about 50 watts. You still got a copy on me?
Yeah, it's not a good time to be going down in power, Terrence.
Okay, how about right there?
Yeah, that's a lot better. We have our QRM-Er that continues to play games. I see again he continues to join us, and I can just visualize him hiding out in his little room, acting out his little secret fantasy, his uncontrollable desire to be in control. But I know that he knows QRM-ing is a negative reaction to some past life experiences, and now QRM-ing has become a habit because it doesn't cost him anything, or hasn't cost him anything yet, but his luck will be running out, and he will be found out, and everyone will know that he's the QRM-er, and he's not the nice guy everybody thinks he is.
Yeah, Roger on that. You know, it would be so cool if we had, I don't know, television. How about that television in radio where you can see the other person that's transmitting? Wouldn't that be something if the technology was such that you could see the person that's dropping the carrier? And and I tell you, man, that would be a game changer, you know. But yeah, man, I'm having fun with it, and you know, to change the mode here a little bit from that knucklehead. My dipole build, it works very, very well on 20 meters as well. And I know harmonically it's not supposed to work on 40 meters, but I tried it anyway, Roger.
Roger, and was it successful?
No, no, not at all.
Roger, yeah, I found, you know, I started off with a 80 meter dipole, and I tried to be running it on 40 through the antenna tuner, and thing is, that kind of a situation just causes so much heat in the antenna tuner. It's just amazing. You know, that's probably one of the hardest things for an antenna tuner to do is take an 80-meter dipole and run it on 40.
Yeah, you know, it'll tune it. It'll definitely tune it there, but it's just harmonically it's just not good, like you said, because of the heat.
Kind of feel sorry for him, don't
I
you?
don't want to damage my radio, you know, trying to work an antenna that was basically designed for different harmonics and try to run it on that band. It's just not good mojo. But I have the delta loop for that, so I'm on the delta loop right now. And the delta loop is good for 40 meters and 20 meters, 10 meters. Now, the dipole, oh my gosh, man, it runs very well on 10 meters, 80 meters, and 20 meters. 20 meters, it performs like flawless. I'm like, wow, this thing is crazy on 20 meters. I'm hearing things that I didn't hear before, right?
Oh, Roger. Well, that's the neat thing about directional antennas. Like I just moved this loop to 90 degrees to be on top of you, and it just zips Mr. QRM-Er. I can't even hear him back in there. So that's the neat thing about a 10-foot mag loop antenna. You can orient it, particularly when it's on a rotor, you can orient it to, in this case, it just works out perfect. Max smoke to you and Zippo on him.
Yeah, Roger, that now. If you was to go to 80 meters, we shouldn't have any problem hearing each other on, because that's kind of like a local band, isn't it?
80?
Yeah.
No. 80 is a nighttime band. 40 is a daytime.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I guess that's why I have such great signals on 80 meters at nighttime, because most people do transmit on nighttime on 80. And, man, I miss 10 meters, though. I really do. I just hope, we get some activity on 10 meters soon.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like paint drying. You got to watch it every once in a while. You'll hear something. Somebody was saying that's the magic. Was it 80? I'm sorry, 10 meters was the magic frequency, or was it? I think it was that. And I guess it's magic whenever something comes up.
It's 6 meters there. 6.
Yeah, 6 meters is the magic band.
Yeah, okay, 6 meters.
Yeah, they call 6 meters the magic band. Who's the other station out there? Kj4Zmz Victor.
Kilowatt 4, Germany, Echo November, K4Gcn. Name is Brian, QTH of South Carolina. I can't hear the QRM-Er at all. I thought you guys were kidding about it. He's very weak, or he's either in you guys' backyard.
I think he's really local myself. Somewhere probably over in Louisville. I don't think it's anything downriver, just somebody local that is, unfortunately, he's slightly deranged, and the pathetic point is that he just lacks the ability to communicate, so he's kind of reduced to like a caveman banging on pots and pans,
Hey, Jim, take care, my friend. I'm going to get out of here, man. All the best to you. KC9VKV, Kj4Zmz Victor. All the best.
Roger, Terrence. We have been recording, sir, so you want to check it out. You know the plan there. Go to YouTube and do a call edit search, KC9VKV. And we'll have your call in there on the title, Roger.
Hey, thanks, Jim. I appreciate it, my friend. And I will do it just that way. All the best to you, my friend. Kj4Zmz Victor.
Roger, Terrence, 3 set way, sir. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, the South Carolina station, K4Gcn. What's the name there?
Yeah, K4 Golf November. Name is Brian, Bravo, Romeo, India, Alpha, November.
Roger, Brian. What town are you near, sir?
I am 35 miles south of Charlotte, North Carolina, and that puts me in a small town of Lancaster, South Carolina. Some call it Lancaster, some call it Lancaster, but if you're down here local, you call it Lancaster.
Roger that. And you're running 100 watts or so?
Right now about 400 on a sloper antenna. About 400.
All right, now tell me about that sloper. My experience with a sloper is I never could find a low SWR. Have you managed to achieve a good SWR on a sloper?
I would say average. It's a my antennas. It's got a 49 to 1 Unan on it, and that transformer has an SO239 connector. I have the transformer mounted. It's an inset sloper also. The transformer is mounted at 25 feet on a aluminum mat, and then I think the wire is about 73 feet, I believe. So 25 foot at the base of it, sloping up to about 70 feet. I did ground it. The transformer has a grounding post on it, so I grounded it straight down the mast, and then I have several grounds from the station. A lot of grounding, but you're correct. The advertised standing wave is much lower than what you actually achieve, so I'm running a tuner. It's a commercial. It says 4310 meters, but you don't get acceptable SWR without a tuner. You might in certain places, but definitely not in the majority of those bands.
Roger that. Roger that. Well, you know, like I said, I don't know if you were copying the mail earlier, and I was talking about my escapades with my sloper. Went from about 70 feet down to about 18 feet, and I just never could get the SWR down very far. And I played with that thing, you know, many times, couple hours at a time for at least 5 or 6 times. You know, I just could not get the SWR down, and then unfortunately through operator error I did lose my high spot in the tree, so I was reduced to having to run that high spot leg through the first limb of that tree, which was about 25 feet. And when I did that, all of a sudden my SWR went down to like 1 to 1, you know.
That's interesting. Some of the models show that I believe on the 70-foot range, I'm trying to pull this up out of memory, I believe on that 70 or so foot range that one of the critical components is having the center, so I guess you're talking about approximately 36 to 38 feet where the center of that wire is, to be 25 feet off the ground. I don't remember where all I read that, but it sounds like you may have accidentally achieved that when you had to lower it.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you know, this antenna is only 30 feet. It's a dipole arranged kind of to maximize East Coast radiation. Our mantra when we were building the station was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And it turned out that way. So I'm definitely in favor of keeping this antenna, but I'll probably build a couple of other dipoles in other directions just to give me options, you know.
Oh yeah, if you've got the space, that's the way to go. I run the sloper, and then I've got a 130-something foot, 75 meter, 80 meter antenna up at about 70 feet. It's oriented with a east-west. So those north and south, but I'm picking you up much stronger on the sloper.
Roger, Roger. Well, yeah, it's amazing. We used to run a QSO-VLOG net on this frequency in the morning, you know, and we found out that if we moved, we did move it to the afternoon there, and we picked up maybe 3 or 4 dB on our 100-watt Friends transmissions, you know, in the afternoon.
Yeah, you stayed consistently at between 10 over S9 and 20. Great audio, very little signal fade at all. So I didn't even get your QTH. Where are you at?
We're located just across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. Just across the Ohio River from Louisville, right in the New Albany, just across from Louisville.
Maybe that's the QRM-Er there with the CW. Okay, well, I'm going to get back to work. I'm working from home here this week. I have to go in one day, and that's tomorrow, but staying in the house, getting more done when you work from home, is, if you can do that, I'm getting a whole lot more done here than I do when I go into work. So, hey, thanks for the conversation. The station's doing very well here, and nice to make your acquaintance. I talked to Terrence before, but it's been a while. But I was listening to you guys while I'm trying to pound out some on the laptop. Take care and have a great one. K4Gcn 73.
Roger, Brian. And like I say, we have been recording, so if you want to hear your station, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO vlog page. We're running about 1,060 recorded QSO vlogs, but you'll be looking for on page 1 title of the My Group Air Check that will have your call sign in the title. Roger.
Okay, so just go to YouTube, put your call sign in, and then it'll be. How long does it take for you to populate into YouTube?
It'll take me a couple of days to upload this to YouTube, so plan on 48 hours or so, Roger.
All right, well, thank you so much, and you have a great one. KC9 Victor Kilo Victor K4Gcn.
Roger, Brian. 3 is that way. And to my QRM-Er, you don't know me and I don't know you, but you have decided I've done something to you for which you're going to make me pay through your QRM attack. But just ask yourself, why? Listen, would you walk down the street and sucker punch the first guy that comes along for no reason? Would that make any sense? What did he do to you to deserve that attack? QRMing is the same thing, an unprovoked attack on someone you don't know for a reason you don't know. My brother, recognize your situation. Try to think about what you're doing. You have developed a bad habit of walking down the street and sucker punching the first guy that comes along for no reason. Does that make any sense? Rise up. Let the past die in the past. Step up to a new you, a stronger you, a better you. You deserve a nice life. I deserve a nice life. We deserve a nice life. Don't ruin it for both of us, for no reason. If that guy had some power, he might be able to do some damage, but, I just talk right through him. He's just not even there. He just fades by the wayside like the little wimp that he is. He's just a wimp that can't manage to communicate on a humanoidal basis, so he just has to QRM. He is a QRM-Er, as he chose to join us again, and I can see you hiding out in your little room, acting out your little fantasies, your uncontrollable desire to be in control, but you're not. You never will be. You're just a wimp. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, KC9VKV. I got a copy on you. This guy's in my backyard somewhere. He's local. Can you copy him at all?
Yeah, no, we got 2 or 3 of them on now, and there's somebody down this way. There's some guys that operate on this 200 frequency kind of frequently that I've heard, and they think they own the thing, so I wouldn't doubt if it wasn't them. So anyhow, it was nice talking to you. I'll look for you again, and again, your signal's great. And what can we do? We put up with these idiots, and we'll have to learn to live with them here on 40 meters.
Oh, Roger. Well, I guess it's not just restricted to 40 meters. Stupidity is universal. There is no specifics on stupidity. It just abounds everywhere.
Yeah, Roger. Well, see, most of my operating was always on 20 meters. I was always a big DX chaser. And, we always put up with these kind of people.
But fortunately, I run 6 elements on 20 at 80 feet, and I have a very good station setup, so I can always work everything between them and through them and whatever, so it wasn't a big problem. But here with only 100 watts, it gets to just to get nerve-wracking. Over.
Roger, Roger. Well, I'm running two 10-foot magnetic loop antennas, and I'm running them in the co-phase mode, so it does simplify a lot of incoming signal stuff, right?
Yeah, I can't believe how good you've been. I haven't lost you since we started, and you know, that's saying something for this small vertical I have. Okay, we'll let you go. It's getting close to dinner time. We'll go up and make something to eat and let the dog out, and my best 73 to you. And boy, you sound great. We'll look forward to talking to you again. KC9 Victor, Kilowatt Victor from Kilo Alpha 9 ABC. Ciao, ciao, Jim.
That was Kilo Alpha 9 ABC. Kilo Alpha 9 ABC, was that the call? This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. 3's that way, K9ABC. A good signal in here. You have a real good day, a good afternoon. If you get a chance, head to YouTube and check out your audio on our QSO Vlog page. Go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. That will take you to our QSO Vlog page. We have about 1,060 recorded QSO Vlogs, and you'll be looking for one that says My Group Air Check, and we'll have your call sign in the title. So 3's up that way. This is KC9VKV.